Hi, my name is Raven Davies, and today I'm going to be giving you a speech about the personal narrative, which for me was Space Camp. So, my purpose is to inform you about my journey to Space Camp, and my specific purpose is to tell you how transformative it was for me. All right, here we go. Have you ever had a transformative experience? One of these experiences can set you on a path previously unseen in a wonderful way. Perhaps you have had something like this in your own life, for example, getting a new dog or discovering a new interest. I had an experience like this when I attended the Honeywell Leadership Challenge Academy in Huntsville, Alabama at the U.S. Space Rocket Center. According to L.A. Paul, a philosopher writing about transformative experiences, an experience is epistemically transformative if it gives you new what it's like information that you did not previously have access to. My experience was transformative to me in this way because it coached me on how to handle a change of perspective, helped me quantify places of internal growth, and sparked a further interest in me in space. While all of these can be attributed to a transformative experience, a change in perspective is the first thing I got when I went to space camp for my journey to space camp. Okay, so a first day there, we had a bunch of different speakers. There was one speaker in particular whose story really stuck with me, and it went something like this. There was a tribal leader who went to the US to learn about advanced technologies to better help his people back at home. He had a guide with him. They went into a building and went into an elevator. When the doors opened, the tribal leader freaked out. He was like, "Oh no, take me back, take me back." So they went back down and they left the elevator. The guide then explained to the tribal leader how elevators worked. That you go in there and there's a shaft and you go up several floors, and that's how it had a new place when the doors opened. The tribal leader said, "Okay." And when he went back into the elevator and the doors opened again, he walked out very confident. He said, "I got this." Now, this story illustrated for me the power of knowledge and how to adapt to new things. It was something that really stuck with me. In a comparable way, I was nervous about being away from home, but I was fine once I got there. Also, at that time in my life, I was struggling with depression, and this trip helped me see that there were wonders on the outside of my understanding, which led me to draw the conclusion that just because I was unhappy didn't mean that I could not find joy elsewhere. I don't know what's going on because I can only see what's going on in my little bubble. On the outside of my bubble, there's so much more that I don't know, and it really helped push me towards that. Just as perspective was a place ripe for internal growth in me, Space Camp helped me identify another place that needed to grow. I learned to step back when others have more experience. The way that I think is that when I encounter a problem, I think about the solution, and if I don't know, I give my best guess. In Space Camp, I learned to hang back and let others bring their experience to the table to bring the best possible method of execution. You don't know what other people are holding in them in terms of intellect or experience until you hang back and let them bring it forward. I also learned how to not take things so seriously that I could not also have fun at the same time that a task was being completed. That was something that I really struggled with. But you can also have fun at the same time you're doing a task, and that actually lets ideas flow more vividly. Lastly, I developed my skill on how to work as a team, trusting others to lead and conduct themselves, and also letting other people, again, take the flow of things. Working in a team showed me that we as people are stronger together and can accomplish more, similar to how the first rocket scientists had to work together to accomplish the feat of flight. I was fascinated at how complex all the rocketry was. At the US Space and Rocket Center, they have an actual rocket, the full assembly of it, not just the shuttle, and they have it mounted on the ceiling, and it's a massive, massive structure. And when you get to the end, you see the engines. All of the tubes are so complex. Before, I would have thought that there were maybe a few tubes, one goes here, one that goes here, etc. They were all over the place, and they had all these different twists and turns, and I was really fascinated at how complex it was. There was another exhibit where they showed the brain of the rocket, and it was a couple different metal tubes. It was very, very tiny compared to the entire rocket mounted on the ceiling. Tiny, tiny, tiny fraction of it, and it really amazed me how something so small could control something so big. Very similar to how little chips control our phones and our computers. There was another exhibit there that was really interesting that showed each decade's technological vision of the future. Now, the really interesting part about that was the vision wasn't technically correct. It was more a reflection of the decade itself, which was really interesting to me. And it really helped bring that perspective when I see visions of the future in our own decade as more a reflection of our decade as opposed to what the true future will be. For all of these reasons, it's clear why attending this camp was so transformative for me and my perspective. Because it coached me how to handle a change in that perspective, it helped me quantify places of internal growth, and it sparked a further interest in space for me. Can you think of a similar experience like this? I hope to use this experience to propel myself forward, possibly in a career. Right now, the plan for me is to possibly gain a PhD in astronomy after I finish my bachelor's in physics. So this helped me forward, possibly in a career, and I hope to pursue that. All right, thank you for listening. Have a great day.